Hi guys, welcome to my van Devandra. The goal for this channel is to have some videos that kind of get nitty-gritty about the van building process and the details there. We're going to kind of nerd out a little bit about that, but at the same time I want to keep things fairly brief and concise and to the point. So today we're going to be talking about latches. And I think this is important because a lot of what you'll find in Home Depot isn't meant to be held shut while you're driving around. So things tend to pop open if you're not using the right ones. I took the original video that I had on latches down. That's because neither of the two types of latches that I showed you in that video were ideal. One of them failed, and the other one that didn't fail pops open on me sometimes. These ones you actually can't see. I was able to find knobs that match this latch here, but these latches are invisible, and I'll show you why in a second. And then these latches have this nice chrome finish, and they're flush on the surface. Of course, there's the option of going with no latches. These panels are captive in the frame that I built and just slide right along. And this is a philosophy that I've tried to incorporate in a lot of my build, the keep it simple stupid philosophy. Remember it, K-I-S-S. More on that later though. This video is just going to be about the latches. This first type of latch is really simple. If you've ever been or lived in a house before, you probably recognize the way it works. You just push, opens. You can see the little piece here you attach. There's another piece in here that it attaches to. The difference between this one and your common household kind is that it holds shut. Normally the ones that you would find in a house, if there's pressure to push the door out, then they will pop open. So because you're driving around in a van, obviously you don't want that. But these are really nice and easy, simple design. As far as how they are to install, these simple push ones are clearly the winners. There's this black plastic piece there, and this other black piece there. And they're pretty easy to line up. For the second type, it's also pretty simple to operate. You press in the button, pops out, you open the drawer. You can see the latch mechanism there. When you're done, just like that. Again, the operation on these is a little bit finicky, but overall I haven't had too many problems. You can see how I had to push it in there to get it to pop out. But here's some close-up on the details here. And you can see that this housing is plastic. There's a lot of metal parts in it, and so far it's held up well for me. So these same type of push button ones work for larger drawers too. So far they've held up well, even with all that weight behind it. The push buttons can work for the door style cabinets as well, but they're a lot more expensive, and it's kind of a waste of time and effort. But as you can see, they work pretty well. As far as installing these push button ones, it's definitely more complicated. You have to get the right spacing on the door for where the hole will go, and that includes lining it up with the cabinet wall there. And then you also have to cut a hole for the latch to fit into in the cabinet wall. With this aluminum it wasn't terrible, but it's still tricky, and it's one more step in the process. This is the latch that didn't fail. These are well made, but their functioning isn't ideal, because you have to remember to press in for them to be locked in place. All too often I forget that, then I'll be driving around and it'll pop open. So I just had one of these push latches fail. These guys, it no longer holds. So these new latches I'm installing are called slam latches, and they've been suggested by a couple people to me. You can see the mechanism here, pretty basic, and you install them by sandwiching them onto the door of the cabinet. So I'm using this really cheap hole saw that I got on Amazon, and it was so cheap and crappy that I've only done about maybe 4 holes with it, and it's already way too dull. So I'm getting a lot of smoke from the heat of it, so my eyes are a little red, and that's why. It's not because we're in Colorado. Much of making living in a van pleasant is simplifying things. With these latches, I don't have to worry to remember to lock them shut. If the door is shut, they're locked. If I was to do my build over again, I would only use these type of slam latches. I hope you found this video useful. I intend on releasing a lot more of these little quick videos that are straight to the point, and there'll be links in the description for the latches that I've shown you today.